guys, this is Abby, and this is a very different type of video. I'm trying out something new. So really, I'm trying out a podcast, and I don't know if it's really going to be like a real podcast or not, but basically, I'm recording this. It's just audio. There's no video. I mean, there's a video, but it's just a picture or whatever I put there. You can just listen to this if you want. If you're not interested, then you don't have to listen at all. I'm just testing this out. I thought it might be fun. I wanted to do something like this because my internet's not good enough to do live streams, so I thought this would be a cool way to just kind of talk about other topics that might just be too long for a video or kind of boring to watch, that you could just listen and do something else. And I thought maybe later on I could have different segments like shout outs and maybe even like interview other YouTubers and things like that. That might be cool. If you're wondering where I am right now, I'm actually in our cabin. We have this little 8x8 cabin for guests, and it's up in the woods a little bit away from the house, so it's a little bit cold, but at least there won't be any background noise. If there is any background noise, it's probably the guinea fowls or the goats or something. And I also thought maybe it would be cool to name this, like, I don't know, maybe just StormyRabbits podcast or podcast, like PAWD cast. So if you don't know what a podcast is, because a lot of people were asking me what's a podcast when I mentioned something on Instagram a while ago. A podcast is basically just talking about certain subjects or just talking about random stuff. Just something for people to listen to. And that's basically all it is. I could do this with like a sibling or something sometimes. I don't know. I'm just testing it out, seeing if it's fun or not. Yeah, anyway, today I want to talk about controversial, that's the word, right? Rabbit subjects. A lot of people argue about certain rabbit things, so I thought I would just give my opinion on some of these things. And I thought just doing it in this type of environment gives me a lot of room to just talk about it a bunch. So yeah, I'm just gonna give my opinions on some of these things, and you can voice your opinion in the comments below. I don't want this to be like mean or angry. No. Just opinions, give both sides kind of thing. And yeah, just chat about it. So first thing I have in my little list here is bowls or water bottles. I get a lot of questions. People ask, why do I use bowls and not bottles, or do you not like bottles or stuff like that? So I use water bowls just because they're more convenient for me. I just like how it's very easy to just empty them out and fill them up, and you don't really have to wash them as much as like water bottles. I just think it's just better for me. There's nothing necessarily wrong with a bottle. I don't think it's quite like as natural. But if it works for you, then it's not like you're hurting the rabbit. It's still getting water. Whether somebody uses a water bowl or a water bottle, it doesn't really bother me. Just some people might find certain things easier or more convenient for them, and whatever works for you, then you do that. But for me, bowls work the best, and yeah, I just like using bowls. So what do you use for your rabbit? Do you use a water bowl or a water bottle? Let me know. Also on this list I have outdoors ? Outdoors is something people argue about. I find that a lot of people kind of attack people who have rabbits outdoors a lot of the times, and I really don't like when I see that sort of thing. Just because a rabbit is outdoors doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Just because the climate all over the world is so different that, say, having a rabbit outside where I live, where it gets in the negative degrees, it can be really cold, that wouldn't be very nice for the rabbit to be outside during that. Places, especially I think in the UK, have a much more average climate where it's kind of more moderate throughout the year. Then having a rabbit outdoors could be perfectly fine for that. A lot of it really depends on where you live and what your situation is and things like that. If you have like a porch or a room or garage, you could bring them in during like the summer or winter when it's too hot or whatever. Really, if the pet is safe, happy, and healthy, then that's really the most important things. For me, I would much rather have a pet indoors. I think it's so much more fun. You get to see them all the time, and I would hate having to go like outside in the morning like that. but having them indoors, I find it just so much fun. You just open the door, let them out. Of course, it's all personal opinion too. Everything like this is really personal opinion. Anyway, getting back into a different topic now. This one's not really controversial, but I wrote down pine and cedar shavings because you hear a lot of YouTubers say and all the time, don't use pine and cedar shavings because they emit gases or fumes that can be harmful for the respiratory systems, and this is pretty much true. I'm not quite sure if it's completely proven or not, but the amount of topics I have seen say don't use them is enough for me to just be, well, better safe than sorry, really, because using like wood stove pellets are cheaper than buying bags of bedding anyway for me, so I wouldn't even buy them in the first place. As for like shavings for a hamster or guinea pig or something, just get aspen shavings. They're not that much more expensive. Can rabbits live alone? ? Can they? I made a whole video about this and I talked about it. This is something that I see so much. People are always like, you should have 2 rabbits, or a lot of people like, well, you can just have 1, it's okay. And how I stand on this, it's really, I always recommend people to get more than 1 rabbit if they can, but if you can't, you're not torturing the rabbit. I hate it when people say that you're abusing a rabbit if you don't have a friend for them, because it's really not like that. If you are completely ignoring your rabbit and they don't get any attention at all and there's a single bunny, then yeah, that's kind of mean. But if you're giving your rabbit lots of attention and they're happy and healthy and they're living alone, then, I mean, that's fine. Storm lived alone for almost a year and he was fine. He got tons of attention and he was plenty happy. I really just got Misty because I wanted to. I kind of wanted to get Storm a friend, but I also just kind of wanted a second rabbit as well. Luckily, they are a nice, happy pair now, and I do think he is better off with Misty as his wife bun, but he definitely wasn't being tortured on his own or anything. So yeah, I think rabbits, most of the time, rabbits are better off as a pair or more, but it's not torture if they're only 1. So get 2 if you can, but if you can't, you're not torturing a rabbit. One question I get is fleece or bedding. Is one better than the other? Is it bad to use one? This is just a personal opinion again. Like, fleece isn't better than bedding, or bedding isn't better than fleece. Say, if your rabbit is living outdoors, then maybe fleece isn't the best thing. And if your rabbit is indoors, then bedding might not be the best thing either because it would get everywhere. So really, different things are better for different situations. If your rabbit is litter trained, then you don't need to buy a bunch of bedding and put it all over the floor. You might want to use some fleece or some little rugs or things like that. But if your rabbit isn't litter trained, then you want bedding on the floor or something, or you'll just be picking up everything until they are litter trained. It really depends on your situation, and some rabbits will just destroy fleece so much. My rabbits destroy it sometimes, not that badly, but they do destroy some of it, and it drives me crazy. Some rabbits are much more destructive, and if your rabbits are really destructive and they're like eating it, then obviously you don't want to use it. But really, it's just personal opinion on what you like to use. Test it out. If you don't use fleece in like an indoor cage, just buy a fleece throw and see if your rabbit will not destroy it or something. So, adopting and breeding, there are a lot of opinions about this type of stuff. I'll just say that I am a adopt before you shop person, just because there are quite a few bunnies for adoption if you just go on Pet Finder. I really like the premise of adopting. One, because it saves money, a lot of money. Rabbits usually are fixed already in shelters, which can save you like $100 or more, and a lot of the times they're already litter trained, which is excellent because then you don't have to deal that much with that. You also know what the personality of the bunny is like, which can be helpful if you're not quite sure about rabbits and such. Plus, you're helping out the shelter by freeing up space for them, and I think adopting is just really great. As for like breeding and pet stores and stuff, I really don't like when people just take 2 rabbits and just breed them because they want like baby bunnies and they want to see cute baby bunnies and maybe want to sell them or whatever without taking in genetics or anything like that. Yeah, maybe you want like the experience of that, but it seems kind of unnecessary to me. I actually don't really mind if people are breeding very small amounts of rabbits that they really love their rabbits. I really love it when people are really passionate about like what they do, and when I see like a really passionate person about their rabbits and they really care about their rabbits and they're just breeding a few for show or something like that, then that doesn't bother me really at all. But when people don't do their research and things like that, that kind of, it sometimes bothers me. It doesn't bother me as much as it used to, but I just really wish people would do more research before they do anything like that. So yeah, anyway, enough with that type of topic. Those are just my opinions. This is like a completely opiniono thingy if you're even listening still. I don't want anybody to get in any comment wars about any of these things. Got it? You're gonna be nice, be respectful. You have your opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. You can share your opinions, but don't be mean. No meanies. Can rabbits and guinea pigs live together? In short, I would say no. Really, a lot of people think it's fine and maybe like it works for you or whatever, but really they're two separate species of animals and they have different needs and different care. Housing them together just seems kind of weird to me, especially because like rabbits are more body language animals and guinea pigs are more vocal, and they just really, it doesn't really make sense to keep them together. I would rather somebody keep a single rabbit than house it with a guinea pig. Get your guinea pig friend and house your rabbit separately. That's what I would say. Harnesses and leashes. Harnesses and leashes really come down to the rabbit's personality, I feel. If I tried to put something on Storm, he would hate it so much. I can just imagine that would not be good. And it also comes down what you're comfortable with too, because I'm not comfortable with bringing my rabbit outside like that. I mean, you hear about injuries and stuff, and you have to be really, really careful with them if you're gonna use them, which is why a lot of people aren't comfortable like me. Like, I would not be comfortable. I would never put a harness on my rabbit. Some people are different, and some rabbits are really chill about it, so it can work, but I don't recommend it in videos or anything, just because some people might try and then it might not go well and such. So really, everything on here, this list is personal opinion, but that's really what it comes down to. So anyway, that is controversial topics about rabbit stuff. Do your own research, come up with your own conclusions. Don't base your opinions off one thing you hear. Look up many things. The amount of different articles and YouTube videos I've watched is quite numerous, but do your own research, come up with your own conclusions. I was kind of unsure about making this type of video or podcast or podcast or StormyRabbits podcast, whatever I'm calling this. I don't know. I'm not as nervous to talk about this type of stuff as I used to be, because if people really disagree and want to unsubscribe or whatever, then they can go ahead, because if they disagree with my opinions, then they probably wouldn't even like my videos anyway to begin with. So yeah, I thought this would just be kind of fun to talk about. Just talk and talk some more. But yeah, anyway, before I go, I just want to say thank you to you guys. If you are still listening to this, thank you so much for listening to this. I really appreciate it. I want to thank everybody for the tons of nice comments on Echo's video. I really, really appreciate it. It was just super nice to read everybody's comments, and there's so many of them. It really kind of surprised me. Thank you to all my new subscribers. There have been tons of new subscribers this past month, more than I've ever gotten, and more views than I've ever gotten as well. So thank you so much for that. It's really cool to do this channel and for people to actually watch my videos. Actually, to record this podcast, I needed a new laptop, because I just have like this old Windows laptop that battery doesn't hold its charge anymore. So I bought a MacBook Air, and thank you for you guys for watching my videos so I could buy this computer so I can record this and not have to bring my iMac to my grandparents this summer. And now I have a laptop for when we go camping and stuff too, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have any ideas for this, I thought I could just record Q&As like this too. I find listening to Q&As kind of what you end up doing. And if you know there's going to be nothing on the screen, then you can just really listen and do something else. I thought this would be a fun way to do Q&As, so maybe sometime I'll do just like a Q&A. If you have any more ideas, ask me. I could talk about a certain subject, again, like interviews, shout-outs. I don't really have a shout-out this video podcast episode thing because I just kind of wanted to thank everybody for the nice comments lately. But if I do this again, I'll definitely give like a certain shout outs to certain people or something like that. But yeah, anyway, thank you for listening. If you are a new viewer of my channel and if you are still listening, my name is Abby. I run this channel. I've been doing it for 3.5 years, about now, and I also have a Twitter, an Instagram, a Snapchat, and I think my Pinterest is also in the description, but I really just post anime and Pokemon stuff there anyway. If you want to go follow those, you can. I don't really post much on Instagram because, to be honest, I'm not a big photographer and I don't really enjoy photography that much. Sometimes I do. I'll get like this burst of photography energy and I'll go take some cool pictures or something, but for the most part, photography is really not my thing, so I don't post much there. If you have any video ideas for normal videos or anything, let me know. I have a few ideas I wrote down. All My Pets 2017. I want to record things people ask rabbit people. I thought this would be like a funny skit type video to film, like, you know, when people ask you like weird questions about rabbits and you're just kind of like, like that sort of like skit type video. What to know before getting a rabbit. Is lettuce safe? I want to do like a video about Storm's ears too because everybody asks about that. I'd love to do a haul, but I just bought this computer. I actually wasn't planning to buy it till around my birthday in June, but I wanted to do this type of thing and I wanted to watch anime on it, so I bought it sooner. Oh, in other news, our goat gave birth to 2 baby girls and they're so adorable, and I'll definitely vlog them soon so you guys can see them because I know everybody loves baby goats. They're so cute. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you listened to this whole thing, let me know because I want to know if anybody really listened to this whole thing. If you want me to do more, let me know as well. I kind of had fun just talking in this cold cabin by myself in the woods. Yeah, different ideas, different things to talk about. I just thought this would be fun to do every so often. And anyway, guys, yeah, thanks for listening. I can't really say thanks for watching because you've been listening. And I'll be seeing you. No, I can't say that either. This is weird. And anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Let me know what I should name it in the comments below. And anyway, guys, I'll be talking to you in my next audio video. Bye.